The Jets preseason is over, which means it's time to look forward. The preseason finale is wrapped up, so it's time to evaluate and react to a 53-man roster prediction from Rich Samani after the preseason. Let's go.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Ashton Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Before we get started, I said this a couple hours ago when we were in the middle of our post-game show at like 1 in the morning, but I will say it again. August 23rd is my 11-year anniversary with the most beautiful queen on planet Earth, baby. And happy 11 years. I will spend a lot of it outside of Boy Green Daily and Jets articles with you today, I promise, doing all kinds of wonderful things. So without Tatiana Davis, my life is not possible. So shout out to she is the mother of my two beautiful children, and 11 years, baby. And here's to many more. Cheers, baby. Amen. Now let's go to one of the other parts of my family here. He's got the same name. He's got some swag. He's got some juice. He's got some jokes. He's got a little bit of everything. And we bring him on for every week. And this is a special Hop on Pop coming off the preseason. So let's bring him in. He joins us now. What's up, Pop?
Hey now, good morning.
All right, Pop, you may just want to adjust your camera a little bit here. We're getting some of your hop on pop in your face there. All right, there we go. We're getting some more hop on pop action. No, more people want to see you. If not, I will tell them to immediately adjust the camera back, and we'll go back to where it once was. But
yes,
hopefully you people, yeah, go ahead.
You could tell the audience that the reason my camera was askew is because your technical skills dumped me during the promo.
I'm not sure there's any evidence backing up what you've just claimed, but that's okay. We're not going to fact check. Probably none of the stats or facts that you bring today, so I won't do it for that one either. Shout out to Austrian Jet fan who's saying it's Pop Mania time, baby, and a good old Ric Flair. Woohoo! There you go, baby. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you like the video, hit subscribe. Again, we had a full Jets-Eagles recap show. Another shout out to one of our favorite Marines on planet Earth, Gunny Gumby, for being my co-host last night / this morning for the Jets-Eagles recap. So if you guys missed that and you guys really want to get into the nuts and bolts of that, you can return to that show. That is in our live section. However, Bob, we must continue to move forward because the NFL calendar moves forward pretty quickly. On Tuesday, by 4 o'clock, every team in the National Football League must reduce its roster to 53 players. 20 hours after that moment in time, every NFL team must submit their final waiver claims from that initial 1,100 players who are released. So there's a lot of hoopla about to be coming here in a matter of days, Pop.
That's right. A couple quick things. We need to get a video clip of Ric Flair.
Yeah.
That, maybe doing the woo and the dance before the woo.
That'd be great. I could add that
you
to
got to do this. You got to. That may be Jeff Jarrett too. But anyways, when you're right, you can play it. So it won't be played very often. But that'd be a good video clip to add to the repertoire because we all know Gator needs some walking around money.
He certainly does. And by the way, I believe that is a French term in nature, so I believe it's repertoire. Repertoire, I believe, is how that's pronounced. But, I don't want to try to tell you how to do your job.
Yeah.
Gator needs some walking around money.
Yes. There's a few clips I should have wished I'd captured with him, like him calling you a moron or some Homer Simpson quotes, but that didn't happen.
No, thankfully not. Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get rolling, the reason I'm wearing this hat is not to mock the Yankees fans in the crowd.
Sure.
Because that wouldn't be right. There's no reason to point out that the Red Sox have already won the season series between the two after only playing 8 games.
Yeah.
So they've already, like, the Yankees could win all the rest of the games this season against the Red Sox and still lose the season. So I'm not here to talk about that.
Okay, of course
That's
not.
what
I
it's
wouldn't
about.
ask you to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because that, that's, I'm not gonna, we're not going to talk about that. 7
Yeah.
out of 8, we don't have to talk about that.
Right.
But anyways, what I really wanted to talk about is this is a salute to veterans hat,
Yes.
right? Salute to
Yeah.
veterans.
Yes.
And we wanted to remind people that we are doing a 50-50 raffle. I'm sure you'll put the screen up.
Yes. Yes, I
for
will.
that.
It's right here. So we'll start off with this image first. For those who don't know Pop, let's reiterate this for everyone in our audience, and we'll continue to beat this drum moving forward. My father has organized a Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project 50-50 raffle. All the details are on your screen, but for our audio-only listeners, I want to make sure I explain this in intricate detail. So you guys have right now all the way through, and the last week or so, but you have right now all the way through midnight on October 4th. That's a Saturday. That's a Saturday before the Week 5 Jets-Cowboys game to submit raffle tickets for this 50-50 giveaway, this 50-50 raffle. Raffle tickets are $1 a piece, one singular dollar. If you submit just $1 for this raffle, you are eligible for the prize pack. However, this is completely for charity, so hopefully you dig deeper into your pockets than that. I'm sure everyone in our audience has $1, so if that's all you could give, hey, that'd be wonderful. But any amount you could give is significant because, like I said, this is all for charity. More on that in a second. We're going to draw the winner of this 50-50 raffle live that next day, Jets-Cowboys, October 5th, in the parking lot. 50% of the money that we raise for this event, and my father's about to reveal details about that, will be given to the Wounded Warrior Project, an amazing cause that I want my father to talk about here in a second, for those who don't know what that is. And then 50% of the money goes to the winner of this 50-50 raffle, which, of course, will be drawn at random. And the top donator from this contest will receive a special surprise gift package of a variety of items. Again, as you guys are aware here on the show, not just because you're the number one donator or gifter for our normal raffles does not guarantee victory. But for this particular case, with it being for charity, Pop, it only feels right to award and acknowledge the tribal chief of donators for this particular contest and make sure they get their proper love. So before I get into how people could send you money and all that jazz, Pop, can you first talk about the Wounded Warrior Project and what that charitable efforts are all about?
Yeah, it's actually, really, really simple and straightforward. We send people overseas. We send people and put themselves in harm's way. They do not come back the way that they went over. Limbs missing, PTSD, whatever it is. Wounded Warriors helps them rehabilitate, helps them reacclimate, and it's we can't rely on, the government, the VA can't possibly take care of it. People fall through the cracks. And this is to help people make sure that we go and support the people that keep us free.
Yeah, and that is a wonderful cause, and we've championed it for a long time, and this is a really cool cause. I want to make this perfectly transparently clear so people don't make any mistakes by accident. Any money that you donate to me regularly, super chats, memberships, anything of that nature on this YouTube channel are for my normal raffle, and I'll throw that up on the screen in a second, but I don't want to confuse you. That's a separate raffle entirely. It has nothing to do with Hop on Pop. It has nothing to do with the Wounded Warrior Project. So if you're specifically interested, this cause, my father's words, have moved you in some way and you want to be a part of it, the only two ways to submit moolah for this raffle is on your screen. It is my father's Venmo, which is at Paul, Paul, hyphen Esden, Esden. That's his Venmo. On PayPal, it's Hop on Pop 22. All together. No underscores, no spaces, no nothing. Hop on Pop 22. In the top right-hand side of the screen, you'll see my Pop's image, which is also his emoji. It's glasses, beard, and that spiky hair up top. All of that is the main profile picture for the PayPal and Venmo that is on your screen. If you guys would like to donate that is the way to do so. Just make sure in Venmo or PayPal, you make it clear who you are if you can, with either your first and last name or how you're recognized on the show. NC Green, Gator, whoever you are out in the universe. If your normal name is different than that, just so we make sure, or that you give a name at all, so we can make sure that we're counting towards your raffle, because my father's keeping track of that behind the scenes. So please establish whoever you are, and we'll continue to add that on from that perspective, Pop. So it's a wonderful cause. We'll be doing this for the next, whatever it is, 6 weeks or something from that perspective. Coming up here on the show. But Pop, you said that we've received a sterling response so far from the fans since doing this. Are you ready to reveal?
Yes.
Some of
I'd like for all those old school out there, the Jerry Lewis telethons. They do this big reveal.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, let me see. I don't know what sound effects I have available here, which I'm a monkey operating the spotlight over here, but I've got I got this, yeah. Not sure if that fits the bill, but
that's good enough. 1 week in, here is the current monies donated to the cause.
Here we go. So it's right here on your screen. This is the Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior 50/50 raffle update. Pop, feel free. I'll let you read this through here. Here's everyone who's donated, and thank you so much to everyone who has donated so far. So, Pop, go ahead.
Yep. So we have Anton at $111.78, and then we have a bunch in second place at 50 with Scotty Mayhem, Frank, Paul, Big Country, Michael, and then Snowball.
Green. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Snowball, James Cafaro, Mother effing Chew, and we're at $406.78 today. And so if we drew the raffle today, just to clarify for people, we'd round up $1 or $2. So the winner would get about $205. And the Wounded Warriors, we had $205 today. That's what it looked like as of 1 weekend today.
So it's great that, thank you guys so much, to have over $400 after just a week is incredible. So thank you guys out there in the universe. And if you guys want to continue to donate, continue to send in your money, please do so again on Venmo at Paul-Esden, PAUL-ESDEN, or PayPal, Hop on Pop 22, Hop on Pop 22. And we take nothing out of this. Me and my dad are not getting any cut. It's nothing. This is a completely charitable effort. This is what we want to do. This is how we want to do it, outside of course, the 50% that goes to the winner. The other straight up 50%. There's no finder's fee. There's no nothing. That is completely going to the Wounded Warrior Project. So I want you guys to know that absolutely clear. Pop, have you determined what you want your goal to be for this, or is this just a venture? Hey, whatever money we can raise is good for the Lord above.
Yeah, I was going to put a goal on it, and then what are you doing? I guess we should put a goal on it. So I'll put if we could raise, $4,000, give $2,000 to Wounded Warrior.
Whoa, okay. I had a number in my head. That was well, you're not. That's for sure. Okay, I had a number in my head. That definitely was not the number I thought. So okay, great. There you go.
And let's look at that number just for a second.
All right.
So I said $4,000.
Sure.
If we had 8,000 subscribers, which we're very close to, I'm asking for 50 cents per subscriber. That's what I'm asking for.
All right. That's
right. So
totally
just
doable.
Put that in perspective.
All right.
Again, that's a goal. Anything is appreciated, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Anything is appreciated. So please donate if you can. And if not, a donation, if you can't donate for whatever reason, that's no one's questioning or challenging you. But if you could donate your thoughts and prayers to them for their recovery.
Yes, absolutely. There's no question about it. I was about to make a terrible segue that if you didn't want to do that, you could donate your likes to the video, and that would be...
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, you can like the video, but apparently, obviously in a very separate category, have put that through. There's no smooth way to go from that to this, but 53-man roster prediction, Pop. Let's get into some of that action here on the program. The Jets-Eagles preseason finale. The Jets came up just short. A nice little comeback bid there with Adrian Martinez and some magic. If Zach Kuntz would know how to catch, maybe something could have been different. But nonetheless, the Jets lose. They're 1-2 in the preseason, and the next game up they play will be against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But before we get there, we got to know the roster that must be solidified at least initially by Tuesday, because that won't be the final roster either, I imagine. So let's go piece by piece through this if we can, Pop. Again, this is Rich Cimini. So if you go down to our YouTube description down below, there is a direct link to this for Rich's article that he wrote about putting together this 53-man roster prediction for the New York Jets following the preseason finale here. We're going to start off at the quarterback position, Pop, and you could share your thoughts, whether you agree, disagree, or what have you here. And I don't know if this is surprising, but it is these guys, and I will make sure I put it up on the screen, excuse me, so you guys can evaluate this as well as we're coming through on here. We start off with the quarterbacks. He has both quarterbacks making it, and Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor, but no other quarterbacks making it. And the big news yesterday, Pop, was from head coach Aaron Glenn, AG. I think I do still have that one from last night. I'll see if I can pull that up real quick. Is AG announced that Tyrod Taylor, he is confident, is going to be ready to go for the season opener, which is, again, just absolutely terrific news. I believe this is the no, okay, I'm not going to have it immediately, so we'll just talk about it. Tyrod Taylor, Pop, he had knee surgery this offseason during the preseason. He was rolled out for the preseason, and they said, we're hopeful he'll be back. Hopeful. Ooh, that didn't sound very good. But now AG last night said, oh, yeah, we're very confident that he's going to be ready to go. So now it seems like the QB3 thing is a little less important now that we have that sort of confidence, Pop.
Yeah, so for many reasons, on paper, this is the right quarterback room for the New York Football Jets. On paper.
Yeah.
With a 17-man practice squad.
It's 16, but Jets will have 17 because of the roster exemption.
That's right. The German strongman, who I imagine will make the team, because why wouldn't you if it's free?
Right.
It seems odd. If you cut them, you're down to 16. Let's see.
Well, right. Just to clarify that real quick, because we will get to offensive linemen, but I don't know if he's going to be talked about, is the Jets will have to cut him initially from the main roster, clear through waivers and bring him back. But, yeah, the Jets would have a roster exemption to have a 17th spot for him, yes.
Yeah, so like I said, on paper, then we'd have, at least one, if not two quarterbacks as part of that 17. And I like two, and I'll get to that, but really immediately coming off the surgery to go into the season and then, pissing in the wind and hoping he's going to be all right. Justin Fields hopefully does not go down the game, play 4. Not that would ever happen. The 4th offensive play. And then Tyrod's not ready. And then where are you at? Right. So I'm thinking that on the 53-man roster, maybe 3 quarterbacks. I think this may be wrong. And
okay.
I think we need 2 of the 2 wherever they land. I think 3 will be on the 53-man roster based on Tyrod, and it may be only 2 because Tyrod's on the pup. Who knows how the surgery goes and recovery goes and stuff of that nature. But I think we need to decide, of our 2 or 3 quarterbacks we have, is one really worth developing or not? I think Adrian Martinez, after 2 years, how many years do you need? Right. And of the 1,200 players, right, on the way to the unemployment line, is there one? We need a veteran at number 3, wherever number 3 lives, practice squad, roster, whatever. And then we need the developmental guy is the 4th. That's how I see the quarterback room between the 53-man and the practice squad. We cannot be where we were. Was it when we were in Dallas? Is that 2 or 3 years? Right. When Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yes.
We were in Dallas in the hotel room on the way to the Jets game, and I'm jumping up and down. We need to go get somebody else because unlike your T-shirt, Zach is not good. And so we can't be in that situation again. Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields injury history. We need a good option. And the developer, I love Kyle McCord. I don't think he's that guy, the third option. We need someone, a veteran. Neither of the two scrubs we brought to the yard, by the way, but we need a good third option.
Yes, the two scrubs you were just talking about, Nathan Peterman and C.J. Beathard. Neither were signed, but they were worked out, which likely means they're added to the Jet speed dial list if anything were to happen. Those two would make the most sense as names they would go after since they've already worked them out. So that sort of skips a step in the process. You could just sign them because you would have the medical information.
You need to. Those two are on the list. I would think they're on the bottom of the list because there's about to be, and I don't know the numbers. I'm going to make up a number. There's going to be 75 quarterbacks available on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't have worked them out, right?
Probably
You worked
not,
out these jalopies because they weren't good enough to be the fifth string quarterback on anybody's team. Wrap your head around that, right? Every NFL team had around 100 players, and these two jamokes were still available. So that's probably not who I want, right? When there's literally, whatever I said, around 75 or more quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That, and most of them, you probably don't have to work out, we'll just take a random. You don't have to work out Carson Wentz. He is what he is,
sure.
Right? He is what he is. And is he a break glass third quarterback if he would take the money? Maybe, but there's a player you wouldn't have to work out, just as an example, not jumping up and down the Carson Wentz or Tommy DeVito. You probably know what he is, or any of the giant stable of quarterbacks, is one or two of them is going to shake free.
Yeah. But just to go back to that first sort of comment you made about this quarterback room, again, it appears, you never know, AG could be being cagey, although he's been pretty straight with injuries so far. So, again, I start with everyone in my life at 0, and until they burn me, I give them the benefit of the doubt. So AG's been pretty good with injuries. So I don't believe that Tyrod Taylor's set for any sort of short-term IR or anything of that nature, which would knock him out for 4 games. Based on the latest information we got last night, suggests that he should be ready, which again should also mean not a third quarterback on the 53, but we'll see if that changes. You never know. All kinds of roster, manipulation could be happening over the coming days.
Yeah, just on that. And
sure.
Coaches, and hopefully Aaron has learned this. Like, people, you should always say things with intent. People just don't know what the intent is. So if I knew that Tyrod Taylor was not going to make it back, I would still say he was likely to make it back. So then when I'm looking at quarterbacks and I'm looking at signing players, they recognize that they don't know that it's a must-have. Or if I'm working on a trade, it's I'm just, looking at covering my bases, not, oh my God, I need a backup quarterback. Like, which do you want to advertise to the world? Right. So he needs to think strategically when he's talking to media. The media are a tool, right? They are a tool, and you need to learn how to use the tool and apply your technical skills while you're using that tool. Most of the media are tools.
I was just about to say, I've definitely heard you call the media tools before, so this is nothing new, but no, I'm picking up what you're putting down. That certainly makes sense. So, yeah, maybe, again, he's playing the game, which would be totally viable because coaches all across the league lie all the time. All right, let's go to the next one here. Again, we're evaluating Rich Cimini's ESPN 53-man roster prediction. There is a direct link to Rich's article in the YouTube description down below. This is coming off the preseason finale. So I would say I agree with this. You say you disagree that it's going to be these two on the 53?
I think it could be a third. Could be a third.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Let's have these conversations. Let's go to running backs here. Rich Cimini has 4 making it. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, and Kene Nguanu. Those are the 4 making it. Obviously, that would mean Donovan Edwards, unfortunately, slips through the crack. Now, I'll give a few nuggets when they are meant to be shared by Rich because he has blurbs in here, but I'll let you guys read the full piece on your own. There is a chance that Isaiah Davis, Pop, who's on this screen, he has an ankle injury. There could be a short-term IR situation. Rich Cimini noted that a recent new rule change allows you to use 2 such designations on players in the roster. What does that mean? That means that the Jets wouldn't have to carry Isaiah Davis on the initial 53, then place him on IR, and then potentially lose like a Donovan Edwards. They could place him on it before setting the 53, which then allows you that bonus roster spot so you can immediately save a Donovan Edwards if you wanted to save it at the same position. So he did leave the possibility open that Davis could be cryogenically short-term IR'd, which would take him out for a month, but that would open up a door for a player he mentioned like Donovan Edwards. So, yeah, we have 4 on the screen, and that 4th could be interchangeable between Davis and Donovan Edwards because Davis would make the roster, but he would be out for a month.
Yeah, hopefully that would be unfortunate. That would be unfortunate. Quite unfortunate.
Sure. Although I like Donovan Edwards, so undrafted free agent out of Michigan, scored the touchdown last night, huh?
He scored the touchdown against the guy that's going to be parking my car when I go to play golf.
That's an important role.
It is important to park my car. I don't want any scratches on my sports car. But other than that, I'm just saying I wouldn't herald him in the 4th quarter of the last preseason game, scoring a touchdown. It's kind of like scoring with the last girl in the bar at 3 a.m.
She was obviously a sleeper, a draft find later in the draft. Not you didn't take the cheese at the beginning where it's a first round pick. You waited and patiently sort of scouted out the ballpark.
Or like Aaron Judge, you struck out looking.
Well, that is always.
Hey now, sorry,
it's always possible. By the way, I think you only hate Donovan Edwards because it's a Notre Dame Michigan thing. That must be what this is.
No, he's okay.
So you're fine with him not making the roster?
I'm fine with him not making the roster. I think these are the. I mean, the top 3 are the top 3, and then whoever the 4th is better be a good special teams tackler.
Which, by the way, Kene Nguanu, man, like I think he's a roster lock. We talk about the first 3 being roster locks, and that's true. But Kene, man, he's your star returner. He's a gunner, and that's even more important because we lost Chris Boyd for the season. He was supposed to be one of those gunners. Irv Charles is recovering from a torn ACL. I don't know when he's coming back, but he's probably on a PUP list minimum, so he's going to miss at least a month, probably more than that. So Kene Nguanu is a massively important individual here. He contributes in a lot of ways for this team, and I noticed it when I was at Jets Giant joint practice, Bob. Tanner Angster has been using Kene a lot. Is he just using Kene to give other guys rest? Maybe. Or maybe he's got a plan for him that other people didn't, because I think he has 27 career carries across 4 years. In other words, he doesn't run the football a lot. He's primarily a special teams guy. Maybe the Jets have a separate package for him because how much they've been running him certainly caught my eye.
Yeah, well, again, I'm good with him as the 4th.
All right.
I'm not sure if Isaiah ends up in that with the injury impacting if they'll carry over Edwards, but again, it's nothing against him. I just don't see the talent level there, and it's nothing against Michigan, who apparently even caught on tape committing acts of crime and violence. It's all right. We should suspend you from the postseason, but we won't.
That could happen. Hey, a quick break from our 53-man roster projection talk. I want to go back to this because I heard Phil ask. BJ, I didn't hear you mention where to send the money for the 50-50 Wounded Warrior raffle. No problem, Phil, and anyone else who, by the way, is interested. I'll repeat it again. It is, and let me hide the running back conversation here for a second. It is, you can send it on Venmo at Paul, Paul -ESDEN. That's on Venmo. And again, that logo in the top right-hand corner of your screen is my Pop's image for Venmo. His profile picture, it's hair, glasses, beard, all together there. PayPal at HopOnPop22. HopOnPop22 is that same logo's in the top right hand of your screen. I would also say this. I don't know how my Pop feels about this, but I'll just say it as well. If you guys send it as a non-business transaction, there won't be a fee taken out of it, which obviously must have happened with the 78 cents, I imagine, one that you got. So sort of factor that in as well, because it takes a fee out of it and it's all going to charity. So there is ways to send it as a non-business transaction. Now, I don't know how that works for taxes and things of that nature. Maybe you guys have to do that. I don't know. That's above my pay grade. But I would just say that that would remove a fee and also help you with your raffle ticket. So, yeah, Venmo or PayPal works. Again, Paul-Esden or HopOnPop22. Paul-Esden is Venmo. HopOnPop22 is PayPal. Anything I missed there, Pop?
Nope. You got it. We'll do updates weekly basis. Maybe last week or so, or last week and a half, we'll do more frequent updates. But for now, for the initial run here, we're going to give updates on a weekly basis.
which again, one more time, I'm going to throw it up on the screen. We've raised over $400 in the first week. So again, shout out to you people out in the universe. Again, every dollar that you give is a raffle ticket. Anton has 112. I'll round up 112 raffle tickets. Scotty, Frank, Paul, Kevin, Michael Verdi all have 50 raffle tickets apiece. James Cafier and Snowball have 20 raffle tickets apiece. Mother fucking Chew, as my pop likes to say, has 5 raffle tickets, and all that together. Again, it doesn't matter. $50, $1, $100, $1,000, anything you could give is a massive help. Obviously, the more you could give, the better it is because it's charity. But the whatever amount you could give, like I said, how about just one of our every nearly 8,000 subscribers just digs between the cushions? Ah, damn it! What do we? 50 cents, a couple of quarters. Rub 2 quarters together. See what happens. Huh? So
yep, there you go.
There you go. Everyone can contribute. I like it. By the way, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, by the way, 6 weeks from today, and to be more specific, 6 weeks and 11 hours from right now, the Coffee Club is going to be hanging out with Chef Kevin Gilbert.
I can't wait. That's going to be terrific. I can't wait for that. Again, sorry, everybody. Those tickets and tailgate packages are sold like nobody's business, so that's all official. But we continue to get all the pieces. I'm getting things shipped to me. I'm purchasing things at the store to have us all ready for that tailgate. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that.
And that 6 weeks and 11 hours was actually for the meetup and greet up.
I assume so. Yes, and I assume that you were doing that math correctly. See, I told you I wasn't going to fact check any of your stats today. I was just going to say, smile and wave, boys. I was just going to agree. By the way, real quick pop on running backs. Do you sort of agree with this group that Ritsamini has?
I do.
Okay. Up next, 7 receivers he has making it. Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Tyler Johnson, Arian Smith, Brandon Smith, and Alan Lazard. Those are the 7 he has making it.
Yeah, this is hard, right? And what I mean by that is, if money didn't matter, right, then it would be very easy, right? I'd slap the lizard off the page, and I would keep Jamal Pritchard. I think he shy of Alan Lazard, and I think the only reason he's going to be on the roster come Tuesday is solely as a result of salary cap implications. But one of these other guys, I haven't seen them stand out. I think they're capable. I'm talking about the Josh Reynolds, the Tyler Johnson. Arian Smith has showed glimpses and flashes of why they drafted him in the first place, so that he is going to be a playmaker. And so, for the most part, I agree with this group as is, but I think we need to find room for Jamal Pritchard. Last night, the 3 kick returns, averaging 20-plus yards of reception. 2 passes in a row, getting the first down. I think he deserves to make the team, and I don't think he'd make it. I don't think he would make it until through the roster cuts. If he was one of the 1,200 people on the street, I think he would. I think he would not make it back to the practice squad. All right. So we will move forward. Boy Green has temporarily had to excuse himself from the broadcast. So if you have questions for me, put them in the chat. I don't want to go too far down this road of evaluation, unless Boy Green's going to be out a little longer. But all right. Shy of that, we will move on to tight ends. Right. So I don't know if I can share my screen. But yeah, so they have Rich Amini as Mason Taylor, Jeremy Ruckert, Andrew Beck, and Stone Smart as the tight ends. Obviously, some of those were a foregone conclusion. Jeremy Ruckert really hasn't shown a whole lot. But I'll tell you what, Stone Smart deserves to make the roster, if for nothing else than pancaking, giving the old pancake. So, yes, I'm going to give you the PayPal right now. I don't have the graphic up because that's the Boy Green graphic. But if you look, I'm looking it up right now. I'm not very adept. But while I'm looking for that, if you have any nuclear questions, Jared has always been very interested in the nuclear questions. I did just get Old Yank. Thank you for your $20 contribution. But I'm trying to figure out where I can see my logo so I can share it with you. I apologize. Anyways, well, Boy Green will be on in a minute. There it is. At Hop on Pop 22. The key is whether it's PayPal or Venmo, make sure you see my logo. If you look in the emojis for those in the Discord or on YouTube, my emoji is my face with sunglasses. So that is how you know it's right. But it's at Hop on Pop 22, Venmo Paul Esden. Again, it'll have that. So thank you, Jared B, for that. So that's where you can donate money. Again, we're not taking a penny. We will do the raffle live from the tailgate, and I'll transfer the money that day for the winner. 50% going to the winner, 50% being directly contributed to the Wounded Warrior. All right. All right. Any other questions? I think Boy Green will be back momentarily. All right. All right. We'll go forward. So the tight ends, I think it's a pretty solid room. There's people that are not very fond of Jeremy Ruckert in the chat, and it's really been an area. I advocated that we should have kept our tight end from last year, Tyler Conklin, but that was not to be. So, but I think we have who we have in the tight end room. Offensive lineman, really nothing there. It comes as much as surprise. It has Olu Fashanu, Josh Simpson, John Simpson, Josh Myers, Joe Tippmann, AVT, Membu, Max Mitchell, Okafor, and Xavier Newman. So that is currently who he has for offensive line. I don't think there's too many surprises there. All right, a lot of Cowboys love in the chat, so I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, Jared B, who's winning, the Jets or Dallas? The Jets or Dallas? Unfortunately, for the Coffee Club, I think it'll be the Cowboys with the win. The Cowboys with the win. I think their offense has probably the best receiving combination in the league. Solid tight end, questions at running back, but yeah, I think Dallas will win the game. I think next weekend, Boy Green and I will go through the entire schedule and give our season predictions. I think last year, Boy Green's prediction for the Jets when we did it was 16-1, I believe was his prediction for the Jets. That seemed a little off at the time. I think his actual the only loss he predicted was against the Arizona Cardinals, which at the time seems pretty arbitrary, but that's who he predicted. Full disclosure, people say that I don't acknowledge when I was wrong. I do. I predicted the Jets would go 12-5 last year, 12-5. So there you go. But we'll do that season prediction next Saturday. We're going to be in Vermont together. Boy Green's going to travel over to Vermont Friday evening after his live in-person fantasy football draft, and we'll do the shows from Vermont as we hang out on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So it'll be the Jets Cowboys game is going to be a good game. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing weekend for those that are coming. We're going to have that hangout at the Cloverleaf Tavern the night before the game, the tailgate. The game's going to be amazing. And there you go. So it's going to be an amazing time, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better next year. It's going to be bigger and better. We're on an extrapolatory, is a good word, extrapolatory trajectory for this. Last year was 25, I believe. We're at 61 at this pace. Next year, we're going to quadruple. We're going to carry the one, if you will, and we're going to be at about 200 people for the game. And you're on mute. Yes, technological genius, ladies and gentlemen. My son, the moron.
I see. Okay, well, this has been a cavalcade of errors today, so appreciate my pop filling in and then my inability to speak on a show that is about speaking, from what I've been told. Oh, God, I'm an idiot. Anywho, which is not something, or as my father said, no, you're not an idiot. You're a moron. So I appreciate that. We will have 63 people at the tailgate officially on the docket, although there's a few people have children coming. And we'll have 59 people in the Jets Cowboys game. So pretty cool, amazing, and what a warm response. Pop, thank you for covering me for all my technical difficulties here. Anywho.
Yeah, no, that's good. And by the way, Vern 4015, my discussion in the 2024 draft. The problem with having an argument with me is I have total recall of everything I say. So I was concerned and confused by Jets drafting running back so quickly together. It didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Or fourth and fifth, excuse me.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense to me at the time. I did say that 100%. And to me, the Jackrabbit was kind of Brees-like. So it was odd, interesting, whatever you want to call it. But I espoused his virtues throughout the year last year after seeing him play after the draft, watching the preseason and the season. I was putting forth that he should get more opportunities in the game because he brought a lot to the game. So yes, during the draft, I did say I thought it was a questionable draft with the holes the Jets had. But after that, I was team Jackrabbit.
Okay, so I appreciate that clarity, Pop, because again, with your total recall, that's always an important, highlight to flex those muscles whenever you get those opportunities. Thank you to the 300 plus people that are in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. We appreciate it. Pop, you're going through all the positions there that I dropped off here. A couple of things here just to put some bows on some of these here. Like, for instance, Alan Lazard, even J.J. Watt said it last night. And it's interesting because the broadcasters, for those who don't know, have more insights than most other people because they get to do production meetings during the week. And J.J. Watt mentioned, could see short-term IR for Alan Lazard. And I went, could we, J.J. Watt? Part of some of those production meetings where maybe that could have been mentioned. Interesting. And not that he's the only one that said it, but to hear it from him makes it really seem like there might be some motivations to that. So it may have been an el accidente from early broadcaster J.J. Watt without a lot of experience, which means he could be one of those two short-term IR things we talked about earlier, which could open up maybe a spot for a Quentin Skinner or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if he goes on IR. I haven't seen him on the field, so I'm not sure what he would be hurt by, except picking up a fork accident in the mess hall. But he could be going on the IR, like the wisdom of the Jets coaching staff putting Greg the Leg on IR last year. That made a whole lot of sense as well.
How does the NFL not verify this? Like, because again, I guess for some things you can't medically check. If you say like Micah right now saying my back is sore, I guess there's no way to really tell if his back is sore. If that's just how he's feeling, how could you possibly verify that information? Which I'm sure Micah did on purpose to pick that sort of an injury. But like that seems to circumvent the rule. Like if you say my ACL is sprained, they can check if your ACL is sprained or not. Like a sore back. That seems like one that can kind of sneak through the old radar there.
I wish you had not brought up that name. We can either go two ways with this, and I'll leave it at your discretion. We can move on like you didn't, or I could unleash some thoughts.
Unleash some thoughts. Yeah, I guess so. Let me take this off the screen because I imagine you're not talking about Alan Lazard here.
Yeah. So Micah Parsons, this just in, breaking news.
Let me. Yeah, sure. I could give you the sound effects. That's that. I think I've got that capability.
And Micah Parsons has a strained mangina. All right. So screw Micah Parsons.
Wow.
I would trade him at the drop of somebody calls up with 2 first-round draft picks today and maybe a player of need for the Cowboys. I'd let him go today. I let him go today without a how do you do, right? He's gone beyond, right? Cry him a fucking river for all the people he's going to make north of $20 fucking million. He's laying on the trainer's table last night like a pussy, right? He's not wearing the team, any team attire, which I believe they should and can fine him for, right? And he's just a piece of trash at this point. He's trashed the people that have afforded him the opportunity. And go look up the stats. Early in the season, late in the season, when the Cowboys were playing the Green Bay Packers, you know who lost that game? It wasn't Dak Prescott, right? It was Micah Parsons and the defense. Where was it? Where is he? Anybody see him? Anybody see him? And you remember the beginning of the season last year when everybody thought that the New Orleans Saints were the best team going?
Oh my
They're
God.
blowing
Yeah.
out everybody left and right. How'd that work out? Anyways, go look at Micah Parsons' stats from that game. You know where he was? He sucked, right? So he can go. He can go. We'll get the draft picks. We'll flip it around, right? And nothing pisses me off more. Nothing pisses me off more than this hold in. This hold in is horse shit, right? And they need to work out how they can find him. And that's not just a Micah Parsons thing. It's a league thing. I think they should not allow it. You get to show up. So instead of getting fined, you just stand there and do nothing, eating nachos and talking shit with fans about how you want to go to Atlanta. Go to Atlanta. Go.
Okay, apparently I struck a chord here with the Micah Parsons situation. Yeah, him laying on the trainer's table. I did see the video of him eating nachos.
By the way,
yeah,
that goes for everybody. That goes for, and Micah Parsons has the least to complain about. I also think that the guy
Trey Hendrickson?
the guy from Washington.
Terry
I think
McLaurin?
he has. Yeah, Terry McLaurin's getting paid exactly where he is in the league. He's in the middle of the pack of wide receivers. He signed a 3-year contract. He's not a spring chicken, right? He's getting paid about in the middle of the league in wide receivers. That's what he deserves. That's what he's getting paid. Trey Hendrickson, as good as he was, the Cincinnati Bengals sucked. He led the NFL in sacks. They still sucked, right? They don't have the money to spend on the top 4 highest players in the game and not suck. So Trey Hendrickson, take your street somewhere else. Micah, go somewhere else. Hold in, hold out. Shut the fuck up and play. People going to work making $10 an hour, and you're squealing about making $22 million and getting franchise tagged, making even more. Shut the fuck up and go to work.
All right. Anywho, so there's his thoughts on Micah Parsons. Yeah. So, anywho, these 7 receivers, are you okay with these guys, or?
I told you we didn't have to go there. Yeah, I really like to fit Pritchett in here. I'm not saying to keep 8.
Jamal Pritchett,
That's not what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. And the 2 veterans we signed, I'm not too sure about. Arian Smith, obviously.
Yeah, he's a lock. Yeah.
Brandon Smith's shown some good flashes in the preseason. Yeah, if you could, one of the guy from Denver, Lazard, would be the person out, so I could keep Jamal Pritchard, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, again, the roster gymnastics, which again you guys are all going to become intimately familiar with here very shortly. Lazard could go short-term IR, which would open up a spot. Maybe that goes to Jamal Pritchett in this scenario. Brandon Smith, obviously, is a 50-50 toss-up. He's been really good, but he was really good last year, too, and he didn't make it. Quickly, because I know you were talking about a couple of these positions, so we'll fast-forward through these. Tight ends, he has the Jets having 4 on the 53-man roster. Again, this is Rich Cimini's prediction. Mason Taylor, Jeremy Ruckert, Andrew Beck, Stone Smart. Thoughts?
Yeah, I like keeping 4. I think it's going to be 3. Remember, I said this on Tuesday. I don't think it's going to be 4. I think it's going to be 3.
Okay.
And who's the odd man out? It's really, it's like a 3-legged race with a dragging a dead body. Yeah, that's like you can't bring a horse to water and drink dead horse. But anyways, I'm not sure if there was person that's not going to make it would be either Stone or Ruckert. Ruckert really, despite a legend trying to coach him up, I'm just not sure he's there. So, but I think there may be 4, but of all the deviations I've discussed, I think it may only be 3 tight ends to leave a roster spot for another position.
Yeah, just to address this, we'll have more on this tomorrow. Malachi Corley's done then. Yes, Rich Cimini did not have him making his wide receiver conversation, but there's just too much to unpack with Malachi, which would send us in a different direction. So I promise we'll address that tomorrow on Boy Green Daily. There's a lot to unpack with Malachi Corley, so we'll have a few more days to talk about Malachi, or have a last chance to talk about Corley before we move on in a different direction. Go ahead, Pop.
Yeah, so I won't be on the show tomorrow,
Okay.
but I will say this. The
All right.
NFL has done some work in this area,
Okay.
but I think teams could do more, and I think you get a lot of value out of it. I think we discount that these are very young players, and unlike today's college, right, out of nowhere, they have a lot of money. Even the undrafted free agents, they are making, in the most part, except nowadays, in the most part, they're making more money than they've ever even dreamed of, right? And again, think about the things you did when you were 20 and 21 years old, and you didn't have crazy money, and people weren't putting you up in hotels and people chasing you for autographs. And so I know the NFL has a rookie symposium,
Yes,
but I think
correct.
the teams need to do more in this area. I think the downfall of Malachi Corley is his delusion or perception of reality of his own value. I think, and you can talk more about it, but I think the NFL and teams need to do more for these younger players, because again, they are kids. They're 20 years old, right? And 20-year-olds make dumb decisions all the time.
That does happen. So this is your test for asking the Malachi Corley question. So thank you for the question, and I promise I'll answer that tomorrow. There will be a much longer conversation about it, just because of all the roster stuff today. I don't want to get spun off on it. But if you guys do have any questions about these positions as we're going through them, feel free to let me know. I think 4 make it, but I think the odd man out's Jeremy Ruckert. I've now heard 2 whispers about it. I think he gets traded if you could get anything for him, or cut, and they replace him with anybody on the waiver wire. You mentioned it. 1,100 players are going to be gone. All I need is someone who can either block or catch. If you could do both, that's a bonus. And then you're taking his spot, because, oh my goodness, Jeremy Ruckert is absolutely awful. Andrew Beck is probably going to make it, although he played a lot more in that preseason game last night than I thought, which sometimes is an indication of your the safety or lack thereof of your roster spot. So we'll keep an eye out for that. Just because they come from the Lions, Pop, they just run a lot of jumbo personnel. That would seem to indicate minimum 3, maybe 4 at the tight end position. But is there 4 worthy names of keeping? Well, that's perhaps a different conversation for a different day. And I know you ended off here before answering a lot of fan questions, but the offensive line as a group, Rich Cimini had 9 making it. Olu Fashanu, John Simpson, Josh Myers, Joe Tippmann, Elijah Tucker, Armand Membu, Max Mitchell, Chukwuma Okorafor, and Xavier Newman. Making it from this group. Leander Vegan not making the initial 53, but again, a roster exemption for the practice squad. That roster exemption, by the way, does not exist on the 53-man roster. So it's existing right now. That's why the Jets have 91 players and not 90, but it does not exist when we get to the regular season. That only carries over to the practice squad. So just so people know, this is the group I feel really good about going into the season. Best offensive line the Jets have had in 15 years.
That's right, and I think this is a solid group. So absolutely,
yeah. So appreciate that, and again, some offensive line action here. I was trying to see if there was anything else. Just Rich Cimini saying that he believes Carter Warren is quote unquote run out of time with what he's brought to the table here, and he filled in for Armand Membu after, and I just haven't really enjoyed the Carter Warren experience. Excuse me. All right, let's jump over to defense, Pop. You guys can keep your questions coming. Again, we got nearly 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe as we continue to go through this action. The defensive line, Pop, here we go. Quinnen Williams, Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Byron Cowart, Michael Clemens, Jay Tufele, Eric Watts, Leonard Taylor III, Tyler Barron. And I believe on this list, the only thing he doesn't have is this is something he'll have to update, obviously, is the 2 trades. I think Rich forgot to include this in his column, so he's going to have to update that, obviously. Harrison Phillips is obviously going to make this team, and Jawan Briggs is going to make this team. So that's going to knock off an Eric Watts and maybe a Tyler Barron from this group. So obviously those 2 are making it, so that's a correction. I think Rich probably did this article in advance, and then some things happened, and he forgot to change these things. So I'm sure he's going to change these later, but those 2 are going to make it. And Byron Cowart, apparently, with his injury, could be another short-term IR guy, Pop.
right. Yep. Now this With the trades, again, this is the initial 53 man. This is what it's going to look like on Tuesday. I think there will be some amendments come before the end of the week, but I think this is where we're at. Shocking.
By the way, we never heard sort of your take on it. I don't know if you have an overarching take, but Harrison Phillips, he's been in the league for a long time. He used to annoy us in the AFC East on Buffalo for 4 years. Then he went over to Minnesota, and now he's here with the Jets. So he seems like a legitimate guy. 2-year, $15 million deal. He was a starter for the Vikings for the last 3 years. He started 51 consecutive games at defensive tackle. This added a bunch of guys this offseason. This was a way for them to save some money, according to NFL insider Tom Pelissero, because of their wide receiver issues. So it sort of worked out for everybody from a Jets perspective here, it seemed. Anything on those guys that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I think he's Harrison Phillips is a solid addition to the team. He was made available. It's interesting that there was a flurry, not only of the Jets, but there's a flurry of trades this week.
Yes.
When, teams probably picked up a few draft picks that they wouldn't have gotten because they would have left these guys on the street. So it's interesting, the move to draft, and maybe it's because, they'd be available, but where you stand based on your positioning on the waiver wire, like the Jets are 7, so. But it's interesting, those trades that happened this week.
Yeah, that's for sure. And some much-needed chutzpah. Let's go to the second layer of the defense linebackers. Jamian Sherwood, Quincy Williams, Marcelino McCrary-Ball, Jamin Davis, and Francisco Mauingoa, the 5 linebackers making the squad. Thoughts?
Yeah. The first triumvirate, not very surprising. Again, I think this will be the 5 on Tuesday, not the 5 on Thursday. So, but we'll see how that plays out.
And you were a big Jamian Sherwood guy, Pop. I remember that. A very big Jamian Sherwood guy. You may have even called that out.
I did call that out, and I'll call out that Quincy Williams will not be a member of the Jets come a year from now.
Okay, there you go. Another spicy take. All right, let's go to the cornerbacks. Rich Sweeney at 6 making it. Sauce Gardner, Brandon Stevens, MC2, Azaria Thomas, Quantez Stiggers, Jarek Bernard Converse making the group. He's been injured throughout his career. Any surprises here?
Yeah, a pleasant surprise that Quantez has made the 6. Other than that, no real. I mean, nobody thought that Sauce was going to be on the waiver wire, or Brandon Stevens, Michael MC2, if you will.
Sure.
And the rookie, I'm sure Ricky is happy with his rookie making it. There, Mr. I can't say his first name, Thomas.
Yeah, Azaria, or just AZ. Yeah. Which could be another one as well. All right, let's keep going here, and we're going to round out the group and then answer your questions. Safeties, Andre Cisco, Tony Adams, Malachi Moore, Zale Oliver. This just sort of seems like the group pretty locked in stone.
Yep. Yeah, this may be one of the few positions outside of, let's say, quarterback or the top 3 at running back that's no real surprises.
Yeah, and let's round it out here, which is awesome. That I can't believe that the Jets ended up with Nick Folk. Even as I'm reading this, I can't believe that's true. So pretty cool. And he's here, and he's been clutch since he's been here, both in practice and in games. Austin McNamara, who I didn't know a lick about, outside of the fact that he had a cup of coffee at the Bengals last year, he's been terrific in the preseason. And Thomas Hennessy, all reliable, the longest tenured member of the New York Football Jets.
Yes. Yeah, Nick Folk coming back again,
hero.
Jukebox hero there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Scotty Mayhem, we can revisit this a year forward from now and see if Quincy's on the team.
There you go. We always love those kind of things where we can reevaluate it as well. And we'll see what happens. Fox Sports Talk says, did Converse get banged up yesterday? I don't think AG gave any injury updates after the game, unless I missed it, because I was listening to it at 2 a.m. So take that for what you will, but I don't remember any injury updates coming from there as well. All right, Pop, how do you want to put a bow on this puppy? Do you want us to take any phone calls here or do another thing for the Hop on Pop? What would you like us to do here?
Yeah, I know that we both have a few agenda items this morning. I'd hate to open up the phone lines and then dump half the people for not being able to take the calls. Maybe I did mention when you were out trying to figure out the power button on your computer that we'll be doing a season prediction in a segment from Vermont next Saturday. We will start that off. So that'd be exciting. And as always, please look for opportunities. Again, if you can donate, please do. We're targeting raising 50 cents per subscriber to the Boy Green channel.
That maths, if I've ever heard it. So a couple of things here. First off, that is true. We both have some pressing matters to get to. And again, thank my pop again for filling in with my technical difficulties here. Of course, always something happening here on the home front. So appreciate that. And that is true. I would hate to leave phone callers out. We did have the phone calls open last night for the post-game show, and obviously we'll be back tomorrow morning. So apologies to anybody that was hoping to call into the show today for a Hop on Pop episode. There will be more to come. And to your point with the predictions, just to sort of reiterate the NFL schedule here, that it's different than it used to be. There's sort of a bye week, right? We got the roster cuts and all that stuff, and that's all news and practice and stuff happening. But next weekend is a gap of time. And then the next week is Eagles Cowboys kicking us off on Thursday, September 4th, and then the season's off to the races. So we're going to have a gap of time where we're all together next weekend, and we're going to be able to do our season predictions and a bunch of other shows, Pop. So it should be a lot of fun.
Should be fun. Looking forward to it for sure.
All right, let's do this. Let's give another plug, baby. We've got 400 people in the room. First off, like the video, hit subscribe, baby. That's a free way to contribute to the show. I was, the last time I checked, like 98 subscribers away from 8,000. So, people, let's get those subscriptions rolling, baby. Tell your friends. Let's get that bleep cranking, baby, here on the program. I'd really appreciate it. And I see we have 400 people in the room and 96 on YouTube, yet only 48 likes on YouTube. That math doesn't math, and I don't need to ask my pop about that. That makes 0.0% sense. So, folks, make sure you like that video. It's a free way to contribute. People forget about it as they're watching YouTube, but it really makes a tremendous difference. So please take advantage of doing that. And if you're trying to take advantage of things, there you go. The Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior Project 50/50 raffle. Every raffle ticket is $1, and it is at that Venmo and that PayPal, which is at Paul-Esden, and PayPal is at HopOnPop22. And you guys can send in your raffle tickets. Just reveal who the hell you are. And you want to do that so we can keep track of all your raffle tickets that are coming through. So USA, and yes, God bless our troops. That's a perfect one here. So I can do this for Kevin James. I think it's very fitting for the end of the show.
Kevin James. I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
There he is, Kevin James. So start your engines, people. USA, God bless our troops. And please support if you can. Again, every bit helps. My father, 50 cents. You know, it sounds like one of those commercials with the animals that you can help. Like, you know, the 50 cents a day. So like, there's all the, like, you may think your donation or your contributions aren't important. Every contribution is important. So again, everyone in our universe has $1 to pop, $1 to give. Pop. Got my words all jumbled up there. So that would be a way to contribute. So pop. And, yeah, go ahead.
A quick update. We did get some donations during the show. Another $50 for the Wounded Warrior from Big Islander fan, Philip Larmer. And old Yank. So thank you for those donations. Will be added to the spreadsheet that we will show next Saturday. So thank you very much.
And let's give a big shout out to Hop on Pop here, because without his organization, without his drive, without his passion for this charitable effort, we wouldn't have been able to organize this and do this. So Pop, you deserve some big kudos for putting all this together.
Well, and so, you know, anything I can do for my fellow brothers and sisters in arms, I appreciate them. And we should all thank them, because that's the reason that we're able to all do the things that we do. So thank you.
Amen.
No thank for me is needed.
Well, humble as always, Pop. Appreciate that. Hopefully you're keeping that same energy when I'm smacking you around in some Madden at some point here in the near future. That would be wonderful.
Diluted.
And one more shout out. I love that from my holy king. Hop on pop. Let's go. Let's get the hop on pop chance going when we're at the tailgate all together. That'll be great. And again, another shout out to my my beautiful queen. 11-year anniversary today. So I will attempt to make it as special as possible. I already received some of my gifts at like 1 a.m. So I need to make sure I'm on my business for
what the hell?
Hey,
Come on,
saying.
man.
I'm not saying I'm just got to make sure I kill it today. That's all I'm saying. Anywho, thank you to the universe. God bless everybody. Hallelujah. And we'll see you soon tomorrow morning. Boy Green Daily. If I'm still alive. God bless. See ya.